After BYD, what vehicle will Zeekr, the next to enter the market, offer? Will it be the one we want? Ah, here comes the model. Oh, Zeekr 7X is clearly shown, and until now it was said that various Zeekr vehicles would be released in Korea. If that's the case, Zeekr 7X will definitely be released. So far I've been sharing information with you through overseas sources. Actually, I saw it first. They made the website to this level. I was really surprised. But the reason I was surprised wasn't because it was well made or looked cool. They confidently laid out their own unique strengths. Wow, they're revealing this much? You've probably seen a lot of imported car brand websites in Korea, but I think this is the first time I've seen a website with this much detailed information. So last time I shared information through the Chinese website, but now I can finally share it with you using Korea's official information. Here you can see the Zeekr 7X's face and its specs. The high voltage battery is 805 with a maximum of 475 kWh, and it's a nickel cobalt manganese battery. The most important battery in an electric vehicle is the nickel cobalt manganese battery, not lithium iron phosphate, and it's 100 kWh. I expect it's probably a Kirin battery. And I think many of you may have already noticed from these specs, but judging by what you're seeing now, it seems that the top tier model is being released in Korea. In my last video I shared some important information, specifically this chart. In the case of the 7X, it's being released in 3 versions in China, and globally the specs are a bit different. So if you just look at these 3 specs, you can clearly see which lineup is being released. 475 kW, 805, and most importantly, a 100 kW battery. Based on this information, it seems that the top-end model is being released in Korea. The top-end model has a 100 kW battery, and there are 2 of these 100 kW batteries. The core rear-wheel drive, the basic model with a rear-wheel motor, was only released with a 75 kW battery, so this isn't the one. Then there are 2 left, right? Among these 2, just a moment ago, you all got this information. The maximum output is 475 kW. If you look closely, it's right here. The 475 kW power is provided only in the highest trim. If that's the case, it's a bit disappointing because the price will probably be expensive. Since it's the top model, you can just think of it as being fully equipped. It's similar to the Sorento. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds and features dual motors for both axles. The key driving range is 543 kilometers. This data is from a Chinese website, so if it's certified in Korea, I expect the range will be around 400 kilometers. With the 805 system, it charges from 10% to 80% in just 16 minutes. It also features 21-inch wheels and Nappa leather. So now we've learned what kind of vehicle this is. In this premium trim, there are some features you should check out first. I mentioned there are many surprising features, so let's begin with this one. There's a feature here that's really hard to find in domestic vehicles. Some may say this isn't a big deal, but it's actually this part. It's clearly labeled in Korean. Variable damping control and the Magic Cafe air suspension package are provided. This is the highest trim, and I'm not sure if this is standard or still an option on the website. Making it optional can lower the price since only those who need it will choose it. This could be a better approach. If it's standard, the price would increase, right? Air suspension is really no longer available in domestic vehicles now. Only the top Genesis model, the G90, has air suspension. Even the GV80 doesn't offer air suspension, but the Zeekr 7X does provide air suspension. You can adjust the ride height in 5 steps, and it automatically adjusts the height from 25 to 45. Having this air suspension definitely improves ride comfort, but more importantly, it helps the vehicle maintain a level stance while driving. So you can expect both better ride comfort and improved driving performance. This is actually something that's hard to find in Korea. Only the Genesis G80 and GV80 have a double wishbone structure, others do not. Of course, some commercial vehicles like the Porter or trucks for special purposes do have double wishbones. The 7X is equipped with a double wishbone structure and air suspension, and the rear has a 5-link setup. This 5-link is connected through 5-link arms. In most regular cars, they use what's called a trailing arm on this side, which allows for a larger interior space while still maintaining a certain level of driving performance. But in more premium cars, a 5-link independent suspension is used. So just looking at this setup, you could say it's a system that's used in vehicles like the Genesis G80 or GV80 and above. Because there are such detailed features like this, I actually wanted to share the information from the website with you all. And what surprised me? Zeekr's brake system is a combination of Akebono calipers and Brembo brakes. Both are really famous, right? I don't know if this makes sense for a car of this class. You can clearly see the large drilled discs. It has a structure designed to effectively dissipate heat. Wow, having this kind of setup, it's a feature that's really hard to find in domestic cars. With this kind of configuration, you'd expect it at least on mid-range or higher Genesis models, or on high-performance brake systems like the N, which is considered a source of national pride. These are parts you can find. I was surprised when I saw it and ended up talking for a while, but let's check the website's content. First, the length is 4,800 mm. You can think of it as being similar to the mid-size Sorento that's being sold in Korea. The width is 1,920 mm, similar to domestic vehicles. Since it's under 2 meters, it's suitable for parking lots in Korea. The height is 1,650 mm, which is a bit lower than expected. And the wheelbase, which is the most important factor for interior space in an electric vehicle, is 2,900 mm at around 2,900 mm, considering the size of the car. So I wondered if reclining seats would be provided in the second row. I was curious about this. The Chinese version offered this feature. There was even a leg rest function that comfortably supports your legs. Hey, since this is the full option, it likely won't have this feature in Korea, right? That's what I thought. First of all, since it's confirmed to be the highest trim, those kinds of features could be offered as options. Let's take a look at the colors available in Korea. It's released in a total of 6 colors, and the most popular one will be crystal white. Let me rotate it like this. The front looks like this. Here, Zeekr brand vehicles make really good use of LED elements like this. When we talked about the German Big 3 before, we discussed which brand uses LEDs the best. At that time we picked Audi, right? Maybe that's why the design of this car also feels a bit like Audi. There's a reason for that. The person who designed this vehicle is Stefan Sielaf, and he used to design for Audi. And Audi was even considered a lighting company because of its spectacular lights. The vehicle that applied this kind of design is the 7X. Now this is what the black color looks like. At night these parts will probably stand out, and since the caliper is red, it definitely catches the eye. This is what ice silver looks like. It's simple and has a clean feel, and this is what forest green looks like. I think you need to see this in person because the color looks very different depending on how you actually see it. I recommend checking it out for yourself. This is what the blue and silver roof looks like. Usually this part is done in black, but the lighter silver roof in the blue series looks like this. Maybe that's why you can see much more of that floating feeling in the design. Why does it look so clean? I think a lot of people might be wondering that. The front hood is a clamshell type that opens as a single piece. In Korea, the Genesis G90 has this kind of design, and it's pretty similar. Because of this design, the A-pillar gives off the impression that it's pushed inward. And if you look at the door area, this part is a bit different. It's a clean design that looks like it's been smoothly cut straight. Usually in domestic cars, you can see black plastic molding in this area right here. This is known as the flush glazing method. This is a method we can see in Land Rover or other luxury vehicles. So when you look from the side, it looks very clean. The last color is dark purple, but I don't think it would be easy to choose this color. But I think it's a really cool color. It's a color that makes me want to try it at least once. The interior colors have also been revealed. First, the light color is purple and white. Since it's purple, it has a bit of a reddish tint, and I actually saw this in another Zeekr vehicle when I visited China. You can think of it as a light brown tone with purple mixed in. And this part, wrapped in metal, looked really nice. It's not a flashy gold color, it's closer to a rose color, and I really like this look too. The color you're seeing now is purple and white, and there's one more color option available, that's gray and black. You can see that a two-tone handle is provided as standard. The feel of the buttons and this part here gives you a sense similar to furniture, but I think you have to see it in person to really understand. These details were really outstanding. Last year, when I visited the Zeekr headquarters, I shared this story with you through a video. If you look at the emotional quality alone, it's enough to compare with Genesis. That's what I thought. It's even more important you see this for yourselves. And this button you can see here is the power door that's offered in the Genesis G90. When you press the button or step on the brake, it's a power type that opens smoothly. Wow, having this kind of feature in a mid-sized car is honestly surprising. Here you can see the dual chargers, plus a refrigerator function on this side. I've already explained the design in the previous video, so I'll just skip over it. If you haven't seen it yet, please check out the previous video. Detailed photos have also been released. The sloping roof design looks like this. From this side, it kind of has a Porsche vibe, right? You can see the high-performance brake system. The red color gives it a strong, intense look. You may not have noticed these rear taillight details, but they include elements like this. It feels like a collection of digital dots, and this kind of design is a common element you can see in Zeekr vehicles. I've gathered all 6 colors that are available for sale in Korea. Seeing them side by side, the blue looks nice too, but the most classic choices are black, silver and white. Personally, I find the purple very attractive. It looks just like this in person with tiny dots. It's made up of as many as 1,831 tiny lamps. In the middle, the daytime running light separates the top and bottom, and there's a headlamp light source below it. If you look at it as a whole, this large surface is the sparkling area. They call it the Stargate, and I think they set this area at 93 inches. And a variety of welcome lights are provided. I mentioned that this side door is a flashing glazing type, right? The surface looks really clean, and the design element that makes it even cleaner is the frameless door. With this kind of design, you can see that the volume on the side connects very smoothly. With the addition of the flush auto door here, you can definitely tell that this is a premium electric vehicle. A second row door that opens to 90 degrees is ideal for comfort, and achieving this angle is actually a technical feature. It opens and closes at nearly 90 degrees. On top, it's a frameless door. All 4 windows are made of double laminated soundproof glass. There's another feature on the door as well. Look closely. Isn't this too much? It comes with a power sunshade. This feature is included, and this is the power door button. Since it's a luxury vehicle, there are almost 3 speakers on each door. And you can see it here. It offers a sliding function that moves back and forth electrically. And I've already shown you this several times, but in luxury cars, the hinges are provided in a solid cast form. You can also see a glimpse of the refrigerator. Here's the interior. A well-made car makes you want to get in, right? Notice the openness. Up here, there's no frame. This is what a real panoramic sunroof looks like. It shouldn't be provided this way, since most other electric cars don't include a sunshade. A separate thick sunshade is included. What surprised me is that folding the seats down turns this area into a camping space inside the car. So there's an air vent located on the B pillar, and everyone try to find it yourself. There's a feature that's usually not offered even in mid-sized vehicles, and that's the speaker right here. The car you're looking at now isn't a 7-seater, but they still put a speaker here. It's also useful when you go car camping. Of course, the sound quality is even better when there are speakers in the back like this. In domestic vehicles, third-row speakers are usually only found in cars with a third row, so this kind of attention to detail might seem minor, but it's impressive. There are also tweeters on the ceiling. Naturally, you can enjoy a much more 3-dimensional sound. Inside, there are gorgeous ambient lights, and since the indirect lighting shines from above the metal like this, it gives off a sparkling, jewel-like and subtle vibe. There are buttons you press from above, and since they work like piano keys, they're called piano buttons. There are 4 piano buttons, and this side has a volume dial. They didn't overlook details like this. It supports wireless charging for 2 devices and is fully localized in Korean. It also provides a function to adjust the suspension height. It has car camping, car wash and fan modes. The seats likely fold automatically in car camping mode. I'm especially interested in car wash and fan modes, so if it's released in Korea, I'll provide a detailed explanation. The first row seats have ventilation and heating. The overseas version also has ventilated second row seats, so I expect the domestic version will too. I'll confirm this. You can see that the pillars are softly wrapped in suede material. There's a clothes hanger here too, right? Speakers are also installed above the first row. In the second row area, as mentioned, the glass roof cover is thick and effectively blocks light. It also helps reduce noise and heat from outside. Looking from the second row to the first, you can see speakers installed in the second row ceiling. This is a reading light, a map light, but when I visited Zeekr last year, I was surprised to learn it's more than just a map light. If you tap it once, it turns to a warm light. If you tap it again, it changes to a bright white light. I'm not sure if the 7X also offers this feature. I was surprised. The rear seat is powered. It's powered really. Since it's powered, there's a frame in the middle. There's a rod that moves up and down. Wow, a powered seat at this class. Let's also check out the interior photos. There's storage space underneath. And like this, the entire light comes on from the edge of the overhead console. You can expect a brighter interior at night. The glossy box has a matte finish on the inside. There will likely be less rattling. It looks like there's a lamp up there. It's shining brightly here, and it has these little features. It looks like it's on the second row door. A glass case is provided. But look at this finish. These details surprised me. Zeekr is a premium brand even in China, and it's a pretty expensive car. But when it comes to these details, it actually felt even better than some luxury cars. The second row seats are folded down, but it's not fully flat. It's raised a bit here, right? There's a lot to say about this. There's a light in the trunk and another one here. With two lights provided, you can use it even brighter. It's perfect when you look at the pickup location. Oh, but a roof is provided. Showing it in a picture like this means it's offered as an accessory, right? They actually have this. The glass roof gives you this wide open view, and just looking at it makes you feel refreshed. The glasses you saw earlier are here, two on this side and one on top. The second row refrigerator function is provided like this. You can adjust it from -6 degrees to 50 degrees. Why am I so jealous? Actually, things like this look much cleaner when they're built in. Domestic vehicles should have definitely offered this feature first. That's a bit disappointing. And the trunk can be used efficiently with this kind of luggage board that opens and closes, and there's a groove over here too. So even if you load luggage, it won't slip, or you can use this space itself more efficiently. Now, my favorite sound system comes up. There are 21 speakers provided. Wow, this is a mid-size vehicle. If it were a real full-size premium car over 5 meters, this would make sense. But in terms of size, this vehicle is about the size of a Sorento, and in terms of price, it's very expensive in China. I'm really curious how much it will cost in Korea. It even comes with air suspension. The output is 2160 watts. Looking at the structure, it's clearly Volvo. Volvo places a round tweeter here, and this car has one in the same spot. And as I mentioned, there are 3 in total, so no matter where you sit, you can enjoy great sound. On top, there's a tweeter for the high frequencies, then a mid-range for the middle, and a speaker for the low frequencies. Since these 3 are grouped together like this, you can expect really great sound. While there's no third row, I noted there are extra speakers in the back and a woofer. And there's one over here too, right? Speakers are provided on both sides of the driver's headrest. With this setup, important driving information is whispered from here. This feature allows you to avoid disturbing other passengers. These kinds of details are impressive. The Dolby Atmos feature is officially provided. I took apart the speaker, and according to the description, this is titanium. Titanium has the advantage of making the high frequencies sound cleaner. The infotainment system measures 16 inches. It's fully localized in Korean. Oh, there's this much Korean included, but what's surprising is that with imported cars, when they localize into Korean, the font often looks awkward, or the size or color seems off. So I have to say, domestic cars are really doing well in these areas. Look, we've come this far, even compared to domestic vehicles. In a way, it's a bit scary too. If it's been localized to Korean to this extent, you just need to use it a few times to get used to it. It's set up like this. The user interface colors and font size all look fine. You guys know what this is, right? Lastly, it's the powertrain. It's an 800 volt ultra high voltage system. The key electric motors are on both the front and rear axles, so you can tell it's an all-wheel drive vehicle. This part is the air suspension. There's the double wishbone 5-link I mentioned first, the high performance brake system, and then the variable damper control and air suspension. For performance, it has 475 kW of power and 710 Nm torque. Only the EV9 Gran Turismo in Korea reaches 700 Nm. Most all-wheel drive high-performance models are around 600. Ah, that's really powerful. Lastly, the Sustainable Experience Architecture Platform. We have seen it in Volvo vehicles, but now it's the Sustainable Experience Architecture Platform from Geely Group. The reason is that Volvo is now a subsidiary under Geely. It is equipped with a Kirin battery with a capacity of 100 kWh. And the fast operating infotainment system uses the Qualcomm Snapdragon 895 chip. When you try it out, you'll see it performs faster than a tablet. It responds really quickly. The front hoodie is 36.21 inches, and this also looks really neat. I tend to pay close attention to things like fonts, colors, and sizes. I'll have to actually use it myself, but my first impression is pretty good. Oh, but this is a mini LED display, so that's why the clarity is so impressive. That's another thing that surprised me. Usually, things like this aren't mentioned on the homepage, but apparently they've designed sound insulation in as many as 119 places. All 4 are equipped with double laminated soundproof glass. There are 3 vibration noise dampers installed, but I think I'll have to test drive it myself to really know. Safety is very important. When a collision occurs, the frame takes the impact, and this electric motor part drops down. Since the driver's knees are here, this downward structure helps protect the driver's legs safely. For your information, the 7X received the highest rating, 5 stars, from Euro New Car Assessment Program. It has an ultra high strength frame structure, and you can see that extra safety has been added to the pillar area. And I was really surprised by this feature. In accidents, it's called the emergency window escape function, where the glass breaks automatically to help you escape safely. I think this is the first time I've seen such a feature. You can see the battery section and the frame structures that are stamped out as a whole with a press. Making it as a single structure reduces weight and increases rigidity, which I think is further reinforced by fiber crystals. The emergency braking system is provided domestically. Alright, we've just taken a look at the 7X, which is about to be released in Korea through Zeekr Korea. Now the only thing left is the price. Of course, durability testing is always necessary, but it's already been quite some time since these vehicles were released in China. 7X is already available in about 5 or 6 countries, including Europe, right? It's a vehicle that's already being sold, so you could say its durability has been somewhat proven. Everything seems almost ready now. We can't say for sure when it will go on sale next year, but it obviously won't be in the second half, right? It would be great if we could see it in the first half of the year. I got a bit excited today and shared this with you, but honestly I was also really curious about the SEV-NX vehicle. When this car comes out, I'll check its value through a test drive. If you want to automatically receive the next video without waiting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Thank you. If this was helpful, please give it a like. Get accurate new car information quickly by subscribing and turning on notifications. Thank you.